Good morning, dear students. My name is Irina, and I'm happy with the opportunity to give you this lesson today. The theme of our today's lesson is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. Before we start, I would like to remind you what is the United Nations Organization. It is an international organization to which nearly all the countries in the world belong. Its head offices are in New York City. The UN tries to make sure there is peace in the world and that all countries work together to deal with international problems. Everyone has rights, including you. To protect children's rights, the United Nations has worked out an international agreement called the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. According to this convention, all children have particular rights and freedoms. Now, I propose you to watch a video, and after watching the video, you'll have to answer these questions. Please look through, make screenshots or something like that if you want. And we are starting.
Everyone has human rights. Children are, of course, human too, and they enjoy many of the rights that adults do in international human rights treaties. What many people don't know is that there's also a treaty that's dedicated just to children, the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. We'll take a closer look at the convention later, but it's important to understand that the idea that children should have rights dates much further back. There's been a long-standing focus on protecting vulnerable children as a charitable response to suffering. However, at the start of the 20th century, some activists started promoting the idea that children should have rights. In the aftermath of the First World War, Eglantine Jebb and others campaigned for the first international declaration of the rights of the child in 1924. An expanded version of this was adopted by the United Nations in 1959. During the International Year of the Child in 1979, Poland proposed that there should be a convention for children. Over the next decade, countries around the world debated and negotiated the text of what would become the most widely supported human rights treaty the UN ever produced, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. The United Nations is an international organization committed to maintaining peace and security and to promoting human rights. One of the ways it does this is through international human rights agreements. Based on three core principles of human rights: dignity, equality, and respect, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child is one of these and sets a global human rights agenda for every person under the age of 18. It was recognized by the vast majority of UN member states in 1989 and is now the most ratified human rights treaty. Countries that ratify treaties are called states parties. In agreeing to be bound by these treaties, they become known as duty bearers, meaning they have a duty to uphold the articles of the convention. In practice, this includes everyone who works for the government, such as police officers, lawyers, teachers, and social workers. Those who benefit from human rights treaties are known as rights holders. So, in this case, anyone under the age of 18 is a rights holder. This applies irrespective of their sex, religion, race, disability, and even whether they're a citizen of the country or not. Parents are also rights holders under the convention. They are entitled to assistance from the state in raising their children, and they're entitled to provide their child with advice and guidance. As the convention is an agreement between
Okay, dear students, now I will show you your questions again, and you will try to answer them. Now I'm trying to make full screen. Just a moment, please. So, let us try to answer the question after watching the video. As for the first question, the correct answer is A, at the start of the 20th century. The second question, the correct answer is B, 1924. Question 3, the correct answer is C, Poland. For question 4, correct answer, the three main principles of human rights are respect, equality, and dignity. Global human rights agenda is for every person under the age of 18. Correct answer is A, fifth question. And answering question 6, we should choose police officers, teachers, social workers, and everyone who works for the government. Thank you for your activeness, dear students. And now let us think about the issue. Do you know that you have not only rights and freedom, but also duties? Do you know what duties do you have? Of course, dear friends, your duties are joining the army, respecting the state symbols, and getting secondary education. And now I would like to introduce you your home task. Your home task will be connected to reading. You will have to read a text I propose you, and after reading, answer the following questions. Please answer them in written in your copybooks. So after reading the text, you will have to write down: where do a child's rights end? What obligations and responsibilities do children have? How do children's responsibilities depend on their age? What is one of the most important foundations of the human society? Now, I propose your attention to the following text that is called Children's and Youth Rights and Responsibilities. Here is the text. It is on 2 pages, 2 slides. So read the text, answer the question, think about your rights, freedoms, and duties, and I say you thank you and goodbye, and hope to see you soon again. Have a nice day.